Okay, guys, so I'm going to do a quick demo on Chaulk. This is a tray that I just made. It's just a scratch piece of paper. It's just something to hold the chalk in. So all I did was just fold up the edges to, so the chalk doesn't get away from everything. It's can get dirty really quickly. So what I'm going to do is get my chalk, which right there, that one is the black one, and then I'm going to get my X-Acto blade, right? And there's different ways of doing this. I like to use the X-Acto blade. So what I do is get the blade and try not to carve this way, that way. What you want to do is kind of scrape it off, okay? Scrape off the chalk off of the piece there, and you can see there's some of it has gotten on the paper already. I'm not going to have that much black. It's going to be mostly blue. The black is just something that tones down the blue from being so too saturated with the blue. So as far as black, that probably is enough right there. And then I'll take the blue out of here someplace. Okay, here's a piece of 285 blue, right? And I'll do the same thing with that. I'll scrape off some pieces. So what some people do is they'll just kind of scrape it onto the paper like this. That's okay too. I just find that it kind of puts a lot into the paper, but that's okay. I mean, if you want to do it that way, you can. There's other, more ways than doing this way. So, but this is the way I like. So try both and see if you like one way over the other. So like I said, a lot more blue chalk than the black. So I'm going to scrape this for a little while longer. Again, I'm trying not to do it so that I cut into the pastel or the chalk, because it'll start bringing up chunks, right? Chunks of chalk, which is a good reason that sometimes it's better just to scrape it into the paper because you don't get chunks. So you can see it's probably right now, I probably have double the amount of blue that I do to the black. And then what I'm going to do is get baby powder, right? Get your baby powder, which is baby powder. And I'm going to put it over here, probably. Open it up. Put a lot of baby powder, probably as much as the blue and the black combined, just to get it real. What the baby powder does is it helps it to, it goes on smoothly. Otherwise, you'll be able to tell after a while if you didn't use baby powder, because it won't be as smooth. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is get my Weeble pad. Okay, it's lintless. That's the main thing about this. It doesn't have lint. So the pads will come like this, right? They'll be flat like this. So what I want you to do is fold it once and then fold it twice. I'm going to use this side, so use a fresh side, okay? Like that. And then this is the side that we're going to use to apply the chalk with. Okay, so what I'm going to do is take the blue and take the baby powder and start mixing them together. Okay, try to get it uniformly, get the baby powder uniform with the blue. And then what I usually do is, after I do that, make sure it's out of the Weeble wipe. See, I try to shake it out of the Weeble wipe, and then so I can mix it up with the blue again. I'll come over here and you can see how blue that is, right? I'll get onto the white part of our tray. That's another good reason to have a tray. You can kind of see what color your chalk is when you're using it. So right now it looks like my chalk, you see how blue it is? So what I'm going to do is add a little bit of black, like half of the black that I have, start mixing it in. Again, try to get it as uniform as possible. You can see it kind of dulled it down. It is not as saturated blue. So add a little bit more. I can kind of tell it needs a little bit more. And then what you do, again, try to take it off your Weeble wipe And then so you can mix it up so it's nice and uniform, right? Then what I'll do is I'll come over here to a white part of the paper, and again, I'll do that. And you notice the difference between the two, right? This one has the black in it, this one doesn't. You see how much more blue that one is on this side right here, and that one right there is a little bit darker. That's what you want. You want a little bit of have it to be a little bit darker. Okay, so I'll get it, and again, I'm trying to get. See, you can see there's a little bit of extra chalk on the sides here, so I'm trying to get a little bit of that out. Keep a little bit of it in, make sure it's the darker chalk that's in there. Okay, good. Maybe go here again and look at the chalk just one more time. Okay, it looks good. So what I'm gonna do now is get some of it on my Weber wipe right there. And I'm gonna start on the top because I don't want to start here. I can smudge it. I'm gonna start on the top here, right? And then I'm gonna put, this is the hard part, is to get it into this thinner area. Okay, so you only can do it like 2 or 3 swipes, and then the paper will have you will have saturated the paper after about 2 or 3 applications of the chalk. So here again, try not to go like this, right? I'm trying to do the whole thing when I do it. One long, nice stroke across the whole page. Now you can see there's a ton of extra chalk right there and right there. So what I'm going to do is use the back part of my Weber wipe. I'm going to kind of push that back into the tray and be able to use it later. So that tray comes in pretty handy. And I'm going to try to clean most of the paper off just with the back part of my Weber wipe. And okay, so I got that top part, maybe put a little bit more. That's probably all it's going to be able to take, because again, the paper can only absorb or take in so much chalk before it's full of chalk, right? So, okay, so now I'm going to go on the other side. Here's the thing I'm going to try to do, okay, because it's so thin, I'm going to concentrate on having a on the top side, because what I want to do is have a little bit of white between this the horizon line and when the chalk starts, right? You want to have white just between it, kind of like here. See, there's the chalk, there's the white, and then there's the marker, right? I'm going to try to do the same thing here, but it's going to be a little bit harder. So what I'm going to do is err on the side, on the high side. So at least I have a little bit of white before it gets to the bottom part of the marker. So I'm going to start here, go all the way across. There it goes. There's chalk. Looks like it's got the more bluish tint to it than the other one. I think it was probably from when I was mixing it earlier. Okay, so it looks like now that I got the blue on there, I'm gonna again scrape it off here a little bit. Yeah, the bottom looks like it's a little bit of a lighter blue than the bottom, than the top. So I'm going to put a little more chalk in and try it again, hit it right here. Especially in the middle area, it should be a little bit darker, and then kind of gradually go out as you go this way and this way. So there you go. That's it. Take this off. Again, back into the tray with the back part of my Weber wipe, right? And then that's it. It's got a little bit of white left in it, but I want more. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my kneaded eraser. You guys can see that. And I am going to kind of just really lightly get right at the edge of the marker, the top edge, and try to get a little bit of white in there, especially in the back here. So like that, and then like that. Okay. And so there you go. So it's got a little bit of that white just at the very, very top. And then also I got a little bit of the chalk in this marker area, so I'm gonna try to erase that just a little bit. That doesn't count as much as or matter as much as this part here, but I'm gonna just try to get a little bit of that off. Just so the marker's a little bit clearer and less. There you go. So, and probably a little bit right back here. And just a little bit above it. Like that. Okay, so there you go.